time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Midweek edition, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We got good NBA to break down. Oh, my gosh. Sky falling?
No, ring the bell.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez behind the glass today. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. At the City Place, a beautiful afternoon, early evening here in South Florida, about 78, 79 degrees on the 15th of April, 2026. Jackie Robinson Day, tax day, however you want to celebrate. A lot of things going on here.
Do you do taxes?
I did my taxes.
Yeah,
I did them incorrectly. I owe the federal government money again.
How?
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
you're an
something going on.
idiot.
There's
Colin,
something going on.
I love you. I love you.
Well,
like
I did
a
it
brother.
right.
You're an
now
idiot.
I owe the money.
How?
Something's
No,
going
no,
on with holdings on my contracts.
Yeah, you should not.
It's the second year in a row.
Put it this way. I don't know what you're doing, kid.
It's the second thing.
But maybe
I thought I fixed it.
I know. Let's put it this way.
I owe less money than I did last year. So I did something right, but I didn't do everything right.
Let's put it this way. I got a place. They treat me like family here in West Palm. Maybe we go there next year. Maybe you come with me.
Damien, I owe the money to the federal government.
That can't be possible. No, Colin, that can't be possible.
Well, it is possible. I just, you check my bank statement.
But Colin,
hey, it's not $50. Let's put it
yeah. So today, we've been running around, Monday, Tuesday. Today, I told Brian, our content director, I said, brother, I got to do my taxes. While they did the taxes, I went and got my hair cut. Long time coming. My mother has been texting me, blowing me up. Damian Perez, our producer here at the City Place Studios, showing me pictures from like 6 years ago when I was like $175, tall, dark, and handsome. And she goes, all right, you got to get your hair cut like this. I said, all right, Mom, first off, add 20 pounds to that picture now. But second off, I get the picture.
I like your haircut.
Right?
I wasn't thinking you're dying to get a haircut.
Oh, dude, when my mother was,
you didn't need to get a haircut.
she was blowing me up. And another teammate of ours, Courtney, if she's yelling at me, it's time to get a haircut. So I had my haircut people yelling at me. It was time to get a haircut. I got the cut, the usual cut, bald fade. I could slick it back. I could wear it down. Very easy. So very productive day here in West Palm Beach today.
Yeah, I mean, this is your normal haircut. I just didn't think you were due for one. You didn't need one.
Yeah, and we do have a contingency here. They literally want me to grow it like Anakin Skywalker.
I think you should.
The thing is, we don't have to wait. Colin, November, that's how long it got. The last haircut was November. So it was only like, 4 months? And it got that long? Dude, if I really wanted
a haircut in 4 months?
Yeah, November was the last time I had a haircut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damien, you think Mike was due for a haircut? I didn't think so.
I mean, after that, November?
Yeah, November. My hair grows fast. It grows fast. Now, it's the women, my sister, my cousins, they all get upset because all the boys got the good hair. My sister,
You're saying the women in your family have terrible hair?
I mean, they admittedly, they say it. My sister, she shames my mother. Feel awful.
Wow. I get a haircut once every 7 weeks on the day.
Yeah, you're due.
I'm not.
I think you're due.
I'm not, Mike, it's been 6 weeks.
I'm gatekeeping because I just got one.
It's been 6 weeks.
I did, though. Do you want to know this? Something I didn't do the last time at my great haircut spot. Shout out Maurizio, by the way, for cutting my hair today. 3 weeks. I set one for 3 weeks to the day. So I'm going to try to keep it consistent every 3 weeks a haircut.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to try to keep it more consistent.
Something changed in your life?
No, but no. Hey now. But no, I just want to be more consistent with the hair. That's it. I can't be walking around like, shaggy, as my mother says, shaggy from Scrappy Doo. I can't be rolling around like that.
Really? I think the slick back hair works. I've always been a fan of that. I've always told you that.
But the issue is I get lazy. And like when I don't take the 15 minutes to set my hair, that's when, I look like Justin Bieber circa 2000. And that's just, bowl cut in 2026, Kyle. Like a dame. I don't think that's the look, And I had a bowl cut going. I really did have a bowl cut going. We agree on that? When I would wear it down and I wouldn't slick it back because, I'm running late or whatever it may be. Was at the gym too long.
You saying before this?
I mean,
haircut
yeah,
before?
like
you had slick back hair. That was not a bowl cut.
but like when I didn't slick it back, I looked ridiculous. I looked like an idiot, you know?
Right, but it wasn't a bowl cut.
I don't know. Regardless, great haircut. Shout out my guy Maurizio. And I'll tell you what, man. You had a lot of. You mentioned in your opening statement, Kyle. My God, we could actually watch the NBA and care now, right? What a game! I mean, there were two good games. Granted, I was counting sheep by 10:30, but what a game that Heat and the Hornets. What a game!
Great, both games were really good. I wasn't able to stay up till 2 a.m. to watch Suns Trailblazers, but both great games.
Now you disagreed with me,
yes,
but sadly, the story from that game is what LaMelo did and how Bam got. And listen, I'll be the first to claim it. I said that out of bio, we'll all be here. When he scored 83 points, I still didn't like how it happened. Regardless, when he scored 83, I said, we'll all be here for a 7.8 rebound performance and a loss in the play tournament. That guy had 6 points in 11 minutes. He was going for about 30 points in that game, bare minimum. All right. And sadly, everything that's dominating surrounding this game today is LaMelo and how he, quote, tripped up Adebayo on the floor. It sucks because the game was great. And that's the only thing people are talking about is how LaMelo should have been kicked out of the game and suspended.
I think a couple things I think could be true. Number one, should LaMelo probably have been ejected from the game? Yeah, probably. Would I be surprised if he gets suspended for the next game? No, I would not. But did that in any opinion, in any way, hinder the game? In my opinion, yeah. Did it change the Heat's chances? Maybe. But as in terms of quality of game, that game did not take a hit. If anything, that game leveled up. That was an excellent basketball game. Excellent. Lead changes. The referees didn't dominate the game. It wasn't determined on the free throw line. There wasn't 1,600 timeouts to finish the game. OT. There was both teams sort of came back down. Heat were down 5 with 28 seconds to go. The Hornets were down 6 with about 1:14 to go in regulation. So both of them sort of had pretty dramatic comebacks. I thought it was an excellent game. And yes, does that hurt a little bit? The fact that Bam couldn't play? Absolutely. It was probably a dirty play if we're going to call it like we see it. LaMelo's done this stuff before. He's been a little bit of a hindrance with the extracurriculars on the court. But it was an excellent game. It really was. So I look at it from glass half full. And another thing I'd also say this. Were the Heat fans not rooting for this? Not for Bam to get hurt, but did they not want to exit that game with a loss?
It's a funny bunch because I completely agree with you.
Not the team itself. Team's pissed.
No, team's fine. But the fan base, you are right. All we heard.
Isn't that what we wanted? So now we want LaMelo suspended. So the Heat fan is pissed off at LaMelo for getting Bam hurt, but they lost the game and they will get the lottery pick. Isn't that what we wanted? And the Hornets wanted the game. And if anything, the Hornets a better matchup for whoever's going to get that 8 because the Hornets didn't even play well and they still won. So from a perspective of, I think everybody got what they were looking for. Everybody got what they were looking for. Damian Perez is our in-house Heat fan. Dame, did you get what you were looking for?
I think in the end, yes. If you're a Miami Heat fan, there was no point in moving on, potentially facing off against Philadelphia, or
even if they moved on past that, they played Detroit.
Exactly. I think against Detroit, I mean, that would probably be one. The Heat would probably win one game in that series. I don't think they would be, they would have a chance against Detroit. But with that being said, I don't think LaMelo really didn't have a good game in that game either. He shot 2 for 16 from 3.
I'll tell you, yeah, they were chucking. Both teams chucking at the end.
Well, it's a Celtics descendant team. They shoot threes. The Hornets will shoot threes till the cows come home. They shot 56 threes in the game. I mean, they were going to do that to left and right. And you're right. They couldn't hit it. They couldn't hit the broadside of the barn.
He did have the game-winning play though. That is something worth noting. And on that same play, even if LaMelo didn't hit the game winner, Bam wasn't on the court for that. So that did affect it big time when it came down the stretch. But I mean, I agree. If you're a Heat fan, there was no reason why we should have beat Charlotte in advance and potentially make the playoffs, only to lose in 5 games potentially.
Couple things on that. To make it a 2-possession game, Miles Bridges had that reverse layup. You're thinking about all these possessions where they go into the basket scoring. Bam Adebayo changes these plays because of his defensive prowess. And the amount of offensive rebounds that Moussa Diabate got all game, he had 8 offensive rebounds. He had 16 total. He was all over the place, especially offensively, second chance possessions. Bam Adebayo probably changes that. So does the game completely change, flip on its head? I don't know if I'd go to the lengths of saying that he would have won, but hey, they missed one of their most important players. And a lot of the reasons the Hornets were able to score was because of Bam's absence. But if you're a Heat fan and you're that pissed off with the play and it being dirty, I could listen to that. But if you're thinking outside of the moment of the game, the heat of the game, if you're sitting there thinking, boy, I wish the Heat were back in this situation, why? Why? Right? Like, well, at the end of the day, you got what they were looking for. The NBA got what they were looking for.
Yep.
And that was the best play-in game they've ever had in the history of that expansion, outside of maybe that Minnesota Laker game a couple of years ago. So outside of that, the NBA had a big night in terms of that. And an awesome finish. Awesome finish. Kobe White hitting that three to tie it up at 1:14 apiece with about 11 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Nails.
Awesome. And I had problems with how the Hornets handled that game. Con Knippel did absolutely nothing, but
he was better on the bench. Honest to God, Colin.
LaMelo is the perfect encapsulation of this type of player. He is the type of guy where you got to deal with his nonsense. Think any receiver in the NFL that is a diva, but he's a great player. Think any big-time player, James Harden. Guys like that, where you have to deal with them and deal with the bad to get the good. Luka Doncic is a great example of this. Now, not to the level of what LaMelo is, but Luka Doncic argues with the officials. He's sloppy on the floor. He has games where he has too many turnovers. Defensively, he's a traffic cone. And then he has 38 points, 12 assists on efficient shooting and shooting well and clutch. And then you're thinking, all right, you got to deal with it. LaMelo's a little bit of the same because LaMelo tried to blow that game. 125, 120. Remember, they hit the Tyler Hero turnaround three. Yep. LaMelo gets the ball, getting pressured by Davion Mitchell, who turns it over. Get the ball back to Tyler Hero, who shoots a corner three, misses it, but LaMelo fouls him for 3 free throws to give him the lead with 7 seconds to go. You're thinking, this guy just lost him their season. And then he turns around and hits a game winner. That's the story of LaMelo. You got to swallow the pill with him every single time he plays.
It's that kind of player. He's that kind of player. And I want to give credit to the Hornets, who really have turned it around in basically a year. They've turned it around in a year. You don't see it. This isn't the NFL where it's more possible in the NFL with a full free agency, a full NFL draft to go worst to first. And granted, listen, the Hornets didn't win the division, but what I'm saying is to go and win that game and probably get into the playoffs. It's impressive. We heard CeCe on Sportsman, like Chris Canty, saying, is Heat culture dead if the Heat lose the Hornets? Absolutely not. I mean, the Hornets.
The Heat played a very competitive game.
They did,
played
without
well.
Without Bam.
They played well. It's a tough postseason out. Always has been.
That game, in my opinion, is the definition of Heat culture. And I know Heat fans don't necessarily like me with my take on Adebayo's 83. Let's take that aside for a second. Spoelstra is a top coach in the league, top two, if not the best coach. Him and Missoula. I probably would take Spo over Missoula. Call me crazy. And Pat Riley, you can sit here and tell me how old he is. You can sit here and tell me how he needs to hang it up. He's washed up. Pat Riley is probably the third best coach of all time in the sport. So the Heat culture is not dead. After that performance, without their best player who had 6 points in 11 minutes, come on. Heat culture dead. They're Giannis away from being a threat in the East. And I think it's incredibly too early to start talking about Giannis for the Heat at this point. He's got a full NBA playoffs. But if you're a diehard Miami Heat fan, I know that's probably what's on your mind. You've swung and missed on all these free agents, and now being on this playing tournament, you got to be able to, grasp onto something. And I guess that's it. But Heat culture is not dead. And I think Spoelstra and Pat Riley and that group proved it last night.
888-760-3776. Number to get into Russo and Rizzo. If Heat fan, if you're glass half full, you're okay with what happened yesterday? Or is there a little animosity towards the Charlotte Hornets, towards how the officials handled that game? You wish the Heat won that one. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Because ultimately, you look at that play-in, and a lot of this, you watch these games in context because, all right, who are they going to play if they win? And this is a game where it's a 9-10, so the best they could possibly get is an 8 seed, therefore play Detroit. Detroit is not as menacing of a 1 seed as somebody like Boston is, right? Like whoever wins this game has an opportunity to maybe steal a game or two, make it a competitive series against Detroit, right?
Yeah.
So I would say from the Hornets, I'm a Hornets fan, I wouldn't be surprised if they suspended LaMelo. I guess the question now turns to, do they suspend LaMelo? There's an ongoing investigation. They're going to look into it. There's no doubt in my mind that was an intentional trip. That was not by any means. I know LaMelo said post-game that he didn't see him. He hit his head. Things were moving too fast. Basically said a bunch of nonsense. You did it intentionally because he's a repeat offender. He's done this before. He did this to Bam a couple years ago. So repeat offender. There's the NBA's between two spots here because Adam Silver could suspend him or suspend him, make a point out of it, sort of fight back against the player power a little bit. Hey, big-time star, max contract player, not going to play in a do-or-die game off of a principle that we're standing by. Or you fine him $400,000 and you call it a day. If I had to guess, I'd probably guess the latter, but you're not going to. You're in a rock between a rock and a hard place.
Do you kill the game?
Yeah, you hurt the game. You're going to hurt your game when the product has had a big win over the week, and you're going to have a potentially, let's say Philadelphia Hornets for a playoff spot. You're going to kill that game and take out the Hornets' most important player. I mean, I understand they could still win. They get Kobe White sitting there. There's a chance. But is it that consequential to them to hurt one game like that? I'm not sure. Or is it that important to them to fight back against the player power? You're going to let the players do whatever they want, intentionally injure other players? I don't think LaMelo did it with an intent to injure, but he did it intently, and he got injured.
Yeah. And in a lot of, I guess stuff I've seen, LaMelo killed the game by doing that to Bam. Listen,
I don't think he killed the game. You can't say the Heat are not good enough to say that.
I tend to agree.
It's a 10 seed, right? It's not Tatum walking away.
In the end of the day, I can't say it any better than you did earlier. Everyone got what they both outside of Spoelstra and those 12 players. I think Heat fans, I think Hornet fans, I think that Hornet team, they all got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. The Heat have a lottery pick. The Hornets are going to have a chance to sneak in if they're able to beat the Sixers or the Magic. It is what it is, man. It is what it is at this point. I think it was a great game that is sadly being overshadowed by a terrible situation.
I don't think it's being overshadowed. I don't. That was the best NBA game all year. All year.
I won't argue that.
Not even a consideration.
Won't argue that.
Best NBA game all year. I think you got to take that as a perspective of what a game. You want to talk about the storyline? Fine. But, I mean, the game was excellent.
Is that.
Fine. I mean, what's the headline? The Hornets get another chance. They're not in the playoffs yet. So I understand. But in terms of quality of game, that was the best NBA game all year. College-esque with the lead changes and everything like that. I want to ask Damian Prez on the other side of things, see if he thinks LaMelo Ball should be suspended. 888-760-3776. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian Prez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and I'm dropping the gloves. Your new home for the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers is ESPN 106.3. Tonight, if you like your hockey fast and a little bit nasty, this one's for you. Red Wings at Panthers at 7 right here on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Join us on a culinary road trip through South Florida at the 2026 Orange Bowl Food and Wine Celebration presented by Florida Blue. Experience an evening of food and fun on Friday, April 17th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood. Enjoy unlimited food and drink tastings from dozens of South Florida's top restaurants while dancing the night away to a live band and DJ. Tickets start at just $135 and proceeds benefit Orange Bowl Cares community initiatives. Get your tickets at orangebowl.org.
Who says buying a car takes all day? At Greenway Kia West Palm Beach, we respect your time and make it simple. Shop online, value your trade, get pre-approved before you arrive. Then swing by, sign, and drive. Fast and easy. From the all-new redesigned 2027 Kia Telluride to the versatile Kia Sportage to the sporty Kia K4, your next Kia is waiting. Transparent pricing, zero pressure, just a smarter way to buy. Upgrade this month without slowing down. Only at Greenway Kia West Palm Beach.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and services.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You heard it, the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. If you get into a car accident, get veered off the road by an elderly lady like Mike did the other day, truck accident, slip and fall, all that action, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine will fight for you, and they don't even get paid unless you do. They fight to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve in these situations. You got to call Anajar and Levine for a free consultation. You can't just settle for anybody in South Florida. Go demand. Go get the best in South Florida. That is Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Colin, Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. Playing game last night with the Charlotte Hornets taking down the Miami Heat and sending them to the lottery for the first time in a while. The Charlotte Hornets 127, the Miami Heat 126. Excellent basketball game. Damian Perez, after the LaMelo tripping Bam Adebayo, intentionally, I might add, at least in terms of my subjection, in the early part of the second quarter, knocking him out of the game with a tailbone injury. The NBA is now investigating this. They did not call a flagrant on the court. They did not eject him on the court. Do you think they suspend him moving forward for the next game?
This is an interesting one because this is the second time that he's done it to the same player. But I think the refs missed it. I think that was a chance to throw him out of that game.
Do you kill the next game because the referees missed it?
I think suspending him is a bit egregious. I think a fine would be perfect, a hefty fine. But I think suspending him would just ruin the product for the next game. And there should be more criticism on how the refs missed that call.
Yeah.
Not only missed it, but didn't even review it. That's another part of it, too.
That's the biggest issue.
That's where I'm at. I don't think a suspension is
you're gonna kill the game because the refs screwed up.
Right. They missed it. You just got to own it. You missed that call, and that was a mistake.
That's where he hit the nail on the head, but they didn't even look at it. And the Heat, the bench, the players, they were throwing a fit about it, and they didn't look at it. That's the issue. That's probably what Adam Silver is talking to the officials about today is that, hey, we got to make sure that we're able to see something like that. But I'm kind of with you guys. I don't think you could kill the game at this point. The one to suspend him for was that night and to throw him out that night, and it didn't happen. And I don't think the NBA will do it. I don't think they'll.
It was the same crew.
Yeah, they should do it.
It was the same crew from the first time, too.
If I'm being honest, they probably should, but they won't. They don't want to kill the game. That Hornet, as you mentioned, as we've all said, that was the best game in the NBA so far. You can't kill the next one coming off of that momentum. That's why they won't do it. Is it right? Probably not.
Damian, do you think they should, not will, should do it?
Should, yes, because it was the second time, but I don't think I don't think they will. And should he be suspended for that? Yes, but I don't think they should. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't think they will, but you think they should.
Right. Like what he did warrants a suspension, but I don't think it would be good for this next game and moving forward.
He just had the game-winning shot. To Damian's point, he just had the game-winning shot. It was a dramatic game. They're not going to suspend him. It's wrong. It's wrong, but they're not going to suspend him.
The refs missed that one, and they got to own it.
The NBA is dying to get momentum back in that league. They just got it back with that game last night.
I agree. I think you're politicking a little too. I see. The thing is, I wouldn't even be surprised. And if they did do it, you can't turn around and say this is the wrong move. But if you're thinking from the perspective of a fan, I would agree that in terms of what happened, I think it is worthy of a suspension. I think he should get suspended. But if you're thinking about macro, what is the best way to get the best product on the court? You're going to have to play a little bit of favoritism. You're going to have to. And this is not something that the NBA is. This is not something new. We're not asking them to step out of their comfort zone. They've been favoriting stars since the inception of the league. So we're not asking them to do anything different than what they usually do. But if you're thinking about it, are they viewing that game against whether it be the Sixers or the Magic on Friday as, hey, this is a huge game. We want the Hornets to be in it. We want to maximize on all the potential momentum that we could get, or are we trying to set an established precedent? Because you can make the argument, yes, forward momentum is important. We could also make the argument the game in the grand scheme of things is inconsequential for a guy who tried to hurt another star. I'm not saying he did it with an intent to hurt him, but he did. So
we all saw the replay.
Yeah.
It looked intentional. I know after the game he said all the right things.
Nonsense. Yeah, he
said all the right things, but brother, this is 2026. I'm looking at you grabbing his leg as the poor fella's falling over. You can't get away with these things like that. Like, I know he was probably remorseful. Like, the time being, like, put yourself in LaMelo's shoes. He's probably upset he's on the floor. And his first reaction, which was a wrong reaction, was to, screw you, man, and to do that, that's wrong. Like, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I know you feel bad about it now, but it's wrong. It's unfortunate. Like I said, man, that the game was so great. I mean, he had Andrew Wiggins hitting back-to-back threes, the Davion Mitchell hitting threes. I mean, the game portion of it was so great, and this is the biggest storyline. It's a shame. It's a shame. And now, going into next game, what do you think the whole broadcast, LaMelo Ball, whatever happens, it's going to dominate that. Not the good play on the court. Something we haven't been able to celebrate all year in this godforsaken league.
It's a great game. Excellent game. Now, I don't think he will get suspended. I think to what we've been talking about, I think the macro level, they're going to protect their stars. They're not going to get in the way of that. But there's an argument to be made. 888-760-3776. If you want to make the argument to me that Prime Video, Magic Hornets on a Friday night, one specific game will change the trajectory of the league on the preceding part of the postseason, and therefore they should not punish people for something they probably deserve to be punished for. You put it in that like that, of course, but there is something about forward momentum and capitalizing on keeping your best players on the floor. There was an article by, I believe, The Athletic, who did gauge the amount of primetime games in the National Basketball Association and the amount of the games that did not have their respective stars playing in it. And it was something like 33% of those games on nationally televised games did not have their stars playing.
You think that's what these streaming services paid for?
Exactly. So from a perspective of these guys are either hurt, they're not playing, they're getting traded, they're tanking. At the end of the day, these guys are not playing in a lot of these games that they're paying for. Why would we try to hurt that? So I don't know what the NBA is going to do here. I don't know if there's a right move, but I do think the most likely move is they don't punish him. 888-760-3776, the number to get into the program. That's 888-760-3776. Let's go to Atlanta. Carter in Atlanta, welcome into the show. What do you got for us?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I still think, don't get me wrong, it was a good game last night, but I still think it's basically meaningless. I think the NBA is it's so embarrassing. And LaMelo should have been sent off. He's not going to be sent off now because, like you guys said, they're trying to gain every bit of momentum going forward. So you're not going to send him off, or excuse me, not have him play next game because you basically need him to attract anybody to watch it. Imagine if that was college basketball. Imagine if that was in March Madness and somebody had done that. They would have been sent off right away without question. It would have gone to review, flagrant 2, gone.
Hey, can we give the NBA a little credit? It was a good game.
Carter's a good sports fan.
He is good.
He's a good sports fan. And I kind of, Riz bashing the NBA. I kind of agree with them. How do you miss something like that and not even look at it? I think that's the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that they didn't even look at it. And Heat fan can tell me, I didn't want a game. They did what they were supposed to do. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of, you got to have some sort of pride as a Heat fan. LaMelo deserved to be out of the game. And did he hit the game-winning shot? Was he involved in the most important moments of the game? Sure. But Carter does have a point. The fact that he wasn't, and I love that he used the soccer term, sent off, not thrown off Damian Perez. I know you caught on to that. But the fact that he wasn't sent off was a joke. I will agree there. It was a joke that he wasn't sent off, / even looked at.
Carter, you got to give the NBA a little credit. Good game.
But it's a great game, but we get great college basketball games. I don't know. I can't take it serious when half the teams make the playoff and literally the teams that don't make the playoff are actively trying not to make the playoff, let alone after this. Where do you guys realistically think Charlotte's going to go past this? I mean, again, it was a great game. You're absolutely right. It had everything, overtime, all that kind of stuff. I still can't. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Most of my attention last night was to the Braves.
It's a good game. Marlins and Braves, good game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You got Nets sitting out 10 before the season ends, and then you've got Steph tonight on limited minutes. It's a win or go home game, and he's on limited minutes.
Yeah, 100%. That I agree with you. I appreciate the call, Carter. The Steph thing is pretty dramatic. The fact that, I know you're on the tail end of your career, but there's only so many playoff runs you could possibly make. He's not going to go full go tonight. I mean, geez. Maybe they're thinking a little long-term there. Maybe, I know it's a knee thing he's got going on, but a lot of these guys are nervous because think about it from a perspective of Tyrese Halliburton came back late and it sabotaged their next season. I know it was the NBA Game 7 of the finals, but it's the same principle. Sometimes these guys get hurt when they're sent back a little early. I understand both sides of that.
I'll tell you what, Carter watching a little Ronaldo, Lopez, and Max Meyer over the NBA. Damian, that's my kind of guy.
Well, and Mike won't give it credit. It pains Mike to admit that the NBA had a good game yesterday.
They did, but the silver lining is that LaMelo wasn't thrown out, and it's like that's why the NBA. Even when they have a good night, they can't win.
I mean, this is what sports is. You're acting like a guy's not getting sent off or suspended.
Fine.
Sean Payton didn't go for it on went for it on fourth down. That was the story of the game.
A little different, but I get it.
It's not different.
A little different, but I get it. Who's up next, Damian?
Ernie in West Palm Beach. What do you got for us, Ernie? Welcome in.
Welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say that was outrageous. That was outrageous. They should have stopped the game because how can you say that you don't know what happened? He's Adebayo. What's Adebayo's height? What is he, 6'5", 6'6"? What is he?
6'11", close enough.
Almost 7 foot, but Ernie, I get the point.
Almost 7 foot. And you're telling me that the guy all of a sudden gets swept off his feet like Danielson, and you're telling me you could not say and look and say, okay, let's stop. Did you see what happened? No. Did you see what happened? They didn't concur. They didn't ask. They didn't stop the play, which was bull because they had the time to stop the play right then and there. How did he fall? How did that happen? Timeout. Wait a minute. We could call a timeout. He should have been thrown out the game. My parlay sank because of it.
Oh, this is what this is about.
Didn't even finish the game. It's nonsense. It's garbage. I should get my money back. Oh my God! And the Mets stink. The Mets stink.
The Mets are a godforsaken bunch. There's no doubt there.
Oh my God! The Mets stink.
Ernie,
what's going on?
Ernie, it was Naruto Uzumaki night at that stadium. Did you care?
At that stadium, yes, he was. He got everything he wanted. There's nothing he could do wrong. Oh my God, what's going on? Can someone please tell me? And let me say, I hope the Knicks have a better solution this Saturday. They better not even lose that first game. They better win by 20, even though that's not going to happen. They're going to squeak by. Probably somebody's going to get thrown out. I don't know. Guys, have a good one.
Thank you, Ernie.
A lot of things there, Ernie.
Thank you, Ernie.
Ernie's not happy with the Mets. He's not happy with the Knicks. He's not happy with his parlays.
I love Ernie. The Mets are you hit the nail. That is a godforsaken bunch right now.
It's early in the season, but the Mets
still,
will always Met.
If you're a Met fan like Bo Bichette, that's been a nightmare. Like, oy vey. Soto hurt. Anyway, back to Adebayo.
888-760-3776 number to get into the program. That's 888-760-3776. Brandon in Port St. Lucie joins the program. Brandon, welcome in. What do you got for us?
How you guys doing?
Excellent. What's
Good,
up,
partner?
Watching that game last night, it kind of reminded me of a movie where it's good front to back. It's got a great ending, but they have that one scene where it's just, you guys really had to throw that in the movie. But on a real note, I mean, that's a bad comparison, but on a real note, you guys have the technology. Why not utilize it? Even if it took a few minutes, get it right. Just get it right at the end of the day. Should he, if this was still the regular season, would he be suspended his next game? Probably. Will he be suspended the next game since the playoff game? Probably not. Why? Because the NBA is all about ratings. I get it. If he's not suspended, I get it. If he is or if he isn't, they need to get it right. Bottom line, really shouldn't be having this discussion today. And to your guys' point, LaMelo Ball ended up hitting the game-winning shot. So
now, Brandon, you said would they, will they, should they, in your eyes, suspend him?
I'm a man of principle. I think they should. Why not? They would do it if it was a regular season. Why not do it? Because it's a postseason. Bam got taken out.
And he had the game-winning shot.
Yeah, exactly. I think he should. Because we can sit here and draw hypotheticals. The Heat, even with Bam, they still could have lost. But I think there was something like 3-0 when he was healthy when they played Charlotte. If I'm not mistaken, you guys might want to double check that.
I will double check that. That's interesting. Yeah. So, but appreciate the call.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. Should they, man, a principle? I think the NBA wanted to stand on principle. I would agree with that. I think they would suspend him. Now, here's the thing. You could draw a couple different comparisons. Joel Embiid did this to Mitchell Robinson. He tried to trip him. They did nothing after that. But then you'd circle back to Game 4 of the NBA Final in 2016 in the midst of a 3-1 comeback. Draymond Green, hits LeBron, and it's a subjection in terms of how he hit him. At the end of Game 4, when they're going up 3-1, they suspend him for Game 5. It sort of catapults the run that Cleveland was able to make and come back from down 3-1. They suspended him for that entire game. And a lot of that was about the technicals and whether they suspend him for a game, do they rescind the technical? It was a whole decision-making process for that. But he did not play the next game. So now you're circling around. Well, if they were able to suspend a crucial player for that game, I know it wasn't the end-all, be-all, win or go home, but you did it then. You're going to do it. You're not going to do it now because of a play-in? That, to me, is you can't pick and choose your moments and politic your way around it. You either got to stand on the principle or not. But that's not how sports work. I mean, there is a reason that Tom Brady gets different treatment, Patrick Mahomes gets different treatment than Gardner Minshew. It's because the stars get preferential treatment in every sport in the history of sports, right? They always will. I'm not saying LaMelo Ball's LeBron, but LaMelo Ball is the max contract player on that team.
And made the most important play of the night.
Would they? Should they? Probably. Will they? Probably not. So I think that's just sort of the pill you're going to have to swallow. And my perspective, you can think of this glass half full. You're a Heat fan. You're that pissed off. You wanted to play Detroit that bad. Fine. You got a reason to be upset. But other than that, what are you complaining about?
Still got to win one more game.
First of all, you got to win one more game. What are you complaining about? Is that not better for Charlotte than it is for the Heat? It is. Mm-hmm. Great. Whether you're a fan of either team, Heat wanted a lottery pick. Charlotte wants some playoff experience. You get a good game out of it. Should we cry to the heavens about LaMelo Ball getting suspended for a game in which the Heat won't even play? You can't cry to the heavens about that.
It's probably, I think, it's more about, from everyone we heard of, it's more about the principle of not looking at the play. When the Heat were clearly very upset about it, Spoelstra was talking to the referees.
No flagrant
on
the court. Yeah, he didn't do anything.
That's the issue. That's the issue.
888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. That's 888-760-3776. Should they have suspended LaMelo Ball? Should they have ejected LaMelo Ball? Did it sour your opinion of that game last night in that excellent overtime thriller, 127-126, Charlotte and the Miami Heat? Miami officially done. They're officially out. And we go to Jupiter. Is this Joe in Jupiter, Damian? I'm not hearing you, but we got somebody in Jupiter.
We got Franz in Jupiter.
Franz in Jupiter. Franz, welcome into the program. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How guys doing?
Great, partner. What do you got?
What do you got for us?
My question for you guys, I didn't watch the game last night, but my question is, why did the Miami Heat coaching staff didn't take time out and then challenge their play? That's my question.
So what you're wondering is why didn't they, get the refs, basically force them to review it? I don't think the referees were thinking about that totally in the moment.
And granted, that's not necessarily technically a challengeable play, a reviewable play. They didn't call it a foul.
Well, they can go back and review for flagrant.
They can, but like the Heat can't. They can't have their challenge on that play. It wasn't called anything on the court. That's why it wasn't called anything on the court, and that's why Spoelstra was very upset about this when it happened. That's why he was very hot about it after the game in the post-game press conference. Because number one, it wasn't called anything on the court. He didn't.
But they can circle back and call it a flagrant. They can do that.
And so
they don't need to call anything on the court.
They can, but he's asking why the Heat didn't challenge it.
No, why did the Heat not call a timeout
and give them
if
more time?
If you call a timeout, you kind of give them the time, maybe put a little bit of pressure for them to review it.
Well, you mentioned Spoelstra. Yeah,
he was on the ground
Franz.
for a while. Thank you, Franz.
Spoelstra's audio is there, Damien. Do you see that there on the computer? So take a look at that because Eric Spoelstra post-game was upset about how the LaMelo play played out. He was they're very adamant to the fact that there's no place for it. He was making a big deal about it. And Damien, you can check my folder if you see it there. But take a listen to Eric Spoelstra a little bit post-game after the play with LaMelo Ball and Bam Adebayo, which caused Bam to get out of the game. And hurt his tailbone with about 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. LaMelo ended up playing the rest of the game, having 30 points, 12 assists, and they were able to win the play-in, technically the first of the 2 play-in games they would need to get. Take a listen to Eric Spoelstra.
It wasn't absolutely what we typically do, but I'm okay with that. I don't want to take anything away from it. I didn't see it, but I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a stupid play. It's a dangerous play. Obviously, our best player is out. I'm not making an excuse. The Hornets played great, and they made those plays down the stretch. We had our opportunities to win. I just that's a shame. He should be penalized for that. I don't think that belongs in the game. Tripping guys. Shenanigans and Curtis was there. It's his responsibility to see that, and if it's not his responsibility, then Zach's got to see it. If somebody has got to see that, and that he should have been thrown out of the game for that. I don't know him from anyone. I just there's no place in the game for that. Obviously it took Bam out of the game, but that did not deter us.
There you go, Eric Spoelstra post game talking about trying to play the coach speak way of it. They did not deter us in the game. You can make an argument that Heat had a 6-point lead with 1:14 to go, and they blew it. And they got to OT. They had chances to win the game, especially at the end of OT. They had a lead with 7 seconds to go. You can't circle around the second you lose and say, well, what about Bam? What about Bam? What about Bam? So I think Spoelstra handled that right, but he's right. There's no place for players actively trying to get guys on the ground, especially with game 83. These guys' bodies are pretty broken down. But Spoelstra handled that pretty well.
Yeah, listen. It is up to the referee to see that, and he was right in front of it. So I'll listen to Spo on that. And I think it's one of those things where it was probably a bang play. Not everyone necessarily had, hey, he did this on the mind. Not everyone's looking at the TV broadcasts like us. So I think we have to keep that in mind as well. But I agree with Spo that it's up to the officials to do this, and I'm sure Adam Silver's having a discussion about it today.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program. We'll talk about the game a little bit further. Live Golf has got some interesting developments about the future of that league. We'll talk about that a whole lot more. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees within the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 29 national championships including the reigning champs in swimming and diving, lacrosse and tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $899 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet, the home of Inter Miami, the Florida Panthers, and the Miami Heat, with all of the biggest live events in sports. If it's happening in sports, it's happening right here on ESPN 1063. South Florida's home for sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Are you a business owner or handle your company's marketing? Banyan Printing and Signs partners with over 1,000 local businesses in Palm Beach County. Their full-service solution saves you time and money by eliminating multiple vendors. From business cards and brochures to direct mail services and signage, they do it all. Fast turnaround, free local delivery, and superior customer service are what sets Banyan apart. Could a market leader with 48 years improve your current model? Visit banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez behind the glass today. We're streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida, ESPN West Palm. Go download the Hard Rock Bet app today because the NBA postseason is just around the corner. The Stanley Cup postseason just around the corner. Bet MLB, game by game, all this action in one spot, league by league, game by game, live, future, player props, they have it all. Go get started today. You can refer a friend, get $50 in bonus bets immediately deposited into your account. So many promos and profit boosts that they have available to you that you could do just about at any time, any place. It's the place in South Florida to be if you're looking to bet on a game, get into a game, find a reason to get behind a game. That is Hard Rock Bet. Best place for the new player and the experienced player. Covers both bases. Go check it out today. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida the wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. You think the Hornets can do anything in the postseason if they were to get past this?
No. I don't think any of these teams can.
Who's any of these teams?
Everyone playing in this ridiculous playing tournament.
So you think it's impossible for playing teams to be successful in the postseason?
I mean, you've seen it with the Heat, so that's just not true. But I think this specific batch of teams, I would say so. And listen, Portland, I mean, Avgia?
Didn't he Avdija?
Yeah, we still, nobody knows how to pronounce the poor guy's name. He had a game last night, but with all due respect to how great Portland played last night, how inspired I think
I agree with that in the Western. I agree with that in the Western Conference.
So
the 1 and the 2 in the Western Conference are dangerous. I mean, I think the Detroit is beatable. Detroit is beatable. I think Boston, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City are not, at least in that specific round. But Detroit, whoever gets that 8.
Why are we so down on the Pistons? You're not the only one. That's why I asked. Hey, brother, I know Cunningham had the lung thing, but
beat up. Here's the thing. Do they have a second star that could really dominate a game? They have their depth. They play good defense. They got a good mixture of stars and experienced players. Bickerstaff is not necessarily
he's not a postseason.
He's not
coach.
the most renowned postseason coach in the history of the sport. So from all of those perspectives, you're thinking, all right, well, if there's a beatable team, and also last year in the postseason, you felt like they were a year away, yes, but Hobbling into the postseason is also one thing. When you're playing with a lot of pressure, like Detroit is going to have in the postseason, I'm just saying you're beatable. San Antonio was weird because San Antonio was the hottest team in the league in the whole second half, and Boston's championship coded, and so is Oklahoma City. Detroit is the one team there that I don't think necessarily has that great juju going in, which is why I say that.
I mean, I like the Magic. I know that they've kind of, disappointed expectations this year. They expected to be better with Banchero and trading for Bane in the offseason. But I don't know. If I had to pick a team, it would probably be Orlando because of Banchero.
No. Banchero stinks. He's so overrated.
I like Banchero.
He's
a fan.
A bad player. I do not. I'm not a Banchero guy. And I liked him in college, too. Just not a clutch player. Can't shoot. I mean, everybody plays the Magic the same way in the postseason for 3 years now, even back in the Cleveland days when they played them as the 4-5 game. You let them shoot, and then they miss shots, and then you take them right down the court.
He played well in that Cleveland series.
He is not a big-time player, and he's owed $50 million. I know he's 24, but not a big-time player in my book.
Yeah. If I had to pick a team out of any of these play-ins, it'd be them. But, granted, to win a game? I think the Pistons win in 5. Whoever they play.
I think I think Charlotte's dangerous.
Especially how great they played the Knicks last year.
Watch Charlotte. I mean, how great they play. I agree. Fine. But I'm talking about hobbled into the postseason. And the thing about Charlotte is they didn't play well yesterday. They still won. I know they escaped, but they shoot a lot of threes and makes it volatile, makes you dangerous. But they also have a starting 5. I know Knipple didn't do anything in the game. You think that's going to continue throughout the postseason? I think you're wrong. But they got guys, they got shooters, they could score. Right? And they just showed you that they could win a close game too. Are they deep? No. Are they big? Not necessarily, but they could shoot. And that to me is dangerous. If you could shoot, you could beat people. I think the Trailblazers a couple of years ago, if you could shoot the ball out of the gym, that's why I think you're dangerous. And if I'm just going to call a team of the 1s and 2s on either side, Detroit is by far the weakest link. By far. Not even close. The weakest length of the top 4 teams in each side of the conference. Top 4. So we'll see what happens. If I'm rooting for a game tonight in terms of who Charlotte's going to play, I'd rather them play Orlando, actually, comparatively to Philly. And I know Philly doesn't have Embiid with the appendicitis, but Philly would have the best player on the floor, and that would make me nervous in Tyrese Maxey. But we'll do a little 5-at-5, get into a little live golf action on the other side of things, because live golf, a couple rumors going around, golfers trying to put out fires. Maybe not too much longer for funding purposes. We'll talk about that on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Services Group.
When launching a private investment fund, proper structuring could mean the difference between high tax bills and smart tax savings.
The new One Big Beautiful Bill Act permanently extends the 20% deduction on qualified business income, makes favorable changes to exclusions of gains of qualified small business stock, and brings back full expensing on capital investments. For fund managers, this means new opportunities to reduce taxable income and improve cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we specialize in building tax-efficient structures that help funds and their investors make the right decisions today for greater success tomorrow. If you are launching a fund in this new environment, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSIsYes.com today.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen, and yes, I can hear your entire speakerphone conversation in the frozen food aisle. I now know about your cousin's refinance, your dog's rash, and your firm stance on gluten. None of that needed a live audience. If we're broadcasting to strangers, make it ESPN 1063.
Aries is proud to sponsor the Pickleball Slam, where legends of the court meet legends in the making, where intensity is met with intention and determination shaped by discipline. Because under these lights, rallies may be earned across the net, but true victory comes from investing in those beside you. Aries, let's advance together.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
The Jupiter Hammerheads and Palm Beach Cardinals are back in Jupiter all summer long. 6 days a week at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Come enjoy the best ticket deals and membership packages in Palm Beach County, like Silver Slugger Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Kids Club Saturdays, the Frozen Iguanas, and so much more. To purchase tickets, membership packages, and find out more information on the Jupiter Hammerheads and Palm Beach Cardinals, visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Second hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, ESPN South Florida, ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook. We got Damian Prez behind the glass. We got Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. It's a beautiful evening, early evening here in South Florida on a Wednesday edition, the 15th of April. Jackie Robinson Day, and also Tax Day, all that good stuff there. Listen, tax day, you get a tax refund. Oh, boy, where am I going to put my money? Where am I going to do with this? Flagler Credit Union is a good place to start.
Well, I know right where my refund is going. It's going right into my savings account with Flagler Credit Union. I mention that all the time, that Flagler Credit Union is a division of Dort Financial. And folks, Dort Financial just won an award for one of the top regional credit unions around. So Flagler Credit Union and Dort Financial, the award winners. Shout out my guys, Brian, Adam, and Brad, who do such a great job with Flagler Credit Union and Dort Financial. But folks, I have a personal checking account and a savings account with Flagler. To Colin's point, when I get my return, It's going right into my nest egg. They also do business checking accounts. So if you need somewhere to put, your acorns and your nuts for your business, think of Flagler Credit Union. And if you're out there and you need to borrow some cash for, the kids in school, whatever it may be, the vacation, the new home, the new car, Flagler Credit Union is the place, folks, because since they're a non-for-profit cooperative, they'll charge less when you need to borrow money. So think of Flagler Credit Union. Also, you could go and see them at one of their 4 locations and see what they could do for you in Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, and Lake Clark Shores. Don't forget about Boca Raton, too. That's Flagler Credit Union. Open up an account today by visiting flaglercu.org or go to one of those 4 locations. Damian, let's hit the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Let's start off with a legend because today, Seth Rogen celebrates his 44th birthday. What role do you guys think of first when thinking of Seth Rogen?
It's got to be Pineapple Express for me. A high school staple, came out freshman year. You're going into freshman year of high school. To be honest, listen, probably 5 years sober, but I was, puffing the Magic Dragon at the time as well. I mean, it was a great movie. Pineapple Express, it's hysterical. That's the one I think of for Seth Rogen.
There's a number of them. He's got a timeless character in Superbad as one of the cops. But you know what movie I think is very underrated? I liked him, and he's always in these raunchy comedies, but I really liked him in Neighbors. I thought he was good in that. I thought he was good in This Is the End. I thought that's a really funny one. Not necessarily. It's not Marlon Brando. Let's put it that way. But he knows what works for him. That's why apparently he's in that Apple TV show, The Studio, and apparently he's pretty good in that. I heard that show fell off a cliff. I've not given it a chance myself, so I don't necessarily know. But he's a very underrated writer and producer. He's had a long career.
He's raunchy. He's funny, Do you remember him in The Boys? And, it's not, you can't talk about it on the air, but you remember his role in The Boys?
Is he in The Boys?
We'll talk about it later on. But Seth Rogen for me, Pineapple Express. Do you have a film specifically?
I said Neighbors, yeah.
Number 2.
I'll have to show you The Boys in another moment.
Another Major League Baseball rookie getting a big deal today as the Tigers have locked up Kevin McGonigal to a 8-year, $150 million deal. Is this the solution to the cap discrepancy in Major League Baseball?
You know what? I like this because getting these guys under contract, arbitration's a waste of time. It's such a pain dealing with this. All it is trade leverage to get these guys shipped away. I like the fact that they're locking these guys down at a young age. I'm liking the fact that they're giving them more than enough money to survive as a mid-20-year-old, where necessarily, you think about it this way. When somebody in the NBA gets a rookie max contract extension, they start making $50 million a year, right? You at least have a sense for their production. For the NFL, when they get that second contract, it's a 2 or 3 contract if you're lucky league. So that second one's going to be big because you have 3-4 years of production. A lot of these times, you don't have as much production when you're going to get certain players. And I actually think that this helps the small market team because it's a little cheaper to keep these guys in-house. And number 2, you're giving them more than enough money for guys who haven't necessarily put together entire careers worth of, stats. I like it. And is it too long? Maybe. But we've seen it more and more. It's become a new wave with agents, whatever it might be. I don't know if they're trying to play ahead of the time when salary cap eventually comes, if it does. But I like that direction it's headed because it's doable for the smaller team.
9 years?
8 years.
29 when he's on the market again. It's similar to the Pete Crow deal. It's similar to the Connor Griffin deal. This is the new wave for the young player. Now we'll have to wait and see what happens with baseball, because the collective bargaining agreement's coming to due. They're going to have to meet. There's rumors of a salary cap. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the landscape of baseball looks like. But, it's a win for the Tigers because you got him for 8 years, arguably his entire 20s. And then for the player, you get the 160?
150.
You get the 150 in baseball. It's all guaranteed. And even if there is a salary cap, whatever, folks, that contract's all guaranteed. So he's getting 150 or whatever it is after taxes. And you have an opportunity to get another contract when you're 29 years old, arguably in the prime of your career. I think it's a win-win for both sides personally.
Number 3.
So Times Magazine released their list of the 100 most influential people in 2026. There were 6 athletes on the list that made it, but none from the 4 major sports in America.
You said 200?
100.
100 people, most influenced people in the world, and only 6 of them are athletes?
Only 6 are athletes,
Wow.
and none from the 4 major sports. That's NBA,
that's stupid.
NFL, MLB, and I'm assuming NHL.
Okay, who are the guys?
Well, I was going to ask you, who in the big 4 major sports should be included in that list? Now, I do have the list of the 6 athletes that are in the 100 most influential.
Can we knock that out first? Okay, let's do the 6 athletes. Who are the guys?
Scotty Scheffler, Alyssa Liu,
Who?
Chloe Kim, Alyssa Liu from figure skating,
Thank
Chloe
you.
Kim from snowboarding, Noah Lyles from track, Hillary Knight from women's hockey, and Lando Norris from Formula One.
What are
All
they
right,
talking?
all right,
What
yeah,
is the
who-
what is the criteria? Influential.
Thank you,
Influential
Colin.
for what?
Thank you, Colin.
Is Scotty Scheffler? I mean, what is he influence? Does he have like a fan club? I don't understand.
Listen, no Messi on there, no LeBron. All right, no Patrick Mahomes or listen, guys. One of those guys has to be on that list. Scotty Scheffler. He's not even the biggest. Colin would disagree. He's not even the biggest player in the sport.
Yes, he is.
It's Rory McIlroy. You see the master rating, by the way?
Where
People
Scheffler-
love
where
Roy.
Scheffler
People
was
love Roy.
Second?
People love Roy.
Did you see who finished second?
Kyle, people love Roy. Regardless, we agree that this list is ridiculous. What? Ronaldo. I know he's in Saudi and not even winning that league, but I love Cristiano. Where the hell is Ronaldo? Where's Mbappe?
You got Messi here on home soil, too.
Where is Messi? What's going on here?
Is it a year in, year out thing? I don't understand.
This is Times Magazine.
Do you
by the
have
way.
any other people who are on that list? Like, who's number 1? Is it politicians are number 1 through 5? Do you have that there in front
So
of
we
you?
have people like Zoe Saldana, Luke Combs, Wagner Mora, Nikki
Luke
Glazer.
Combs?
Wagner
Hang
Mora,
on, that-
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs? Doesn't he sing the Billy Joints? The Billy Joints?
Who's number
come
1?
on. Where's Otani? Timeout, Colin. One more. Who the hell is Otani?
Who's number 1?
Let me get that for you.
Yeah,
Where is Otani?
Zoe Saldana.
Who?
The actress? I mean, geez, is The Rock Johnson number 1? I mean,
That guy, and listen, love The Rock, but he never saw a script he didn't like. Let's be honest with ourselves here. All right.
not wrong. I mean, geez, influential people, only 6 athletes.
Otani, who is changing the game of baseball, being a Japanese ball player here in the States, doing something we haven't seen, and even better than Babe Ruth. What's going on? Well, all right, what's going on? What list is this? Clearly, they're not sports fans.
I would agree with that.
Clearly, they have whoever wrote this article has big blinders, Colin. I mean, fine. You want to give your wasted time country singers? I mean, seriously. Colin and I put a song together in 5 minutes.
So
Forgive me
there's
for thinking we could be a country singer.
There's no specific number 1, but the list I read off was the selected list for the worldwide covers. So they're on the covers.
It's
Which-
just the people
for
who
time?
grace the cover.
Zoe Saldana, Nikki Glazer, Wagner Mora.
These are just people
and
that
Luke Combs.
graze the cover, correct?
Correct.
All right, I can listen. Different situation.
Okay.
It's not the top 100 most influential people in the world. It's the people who grazed the cover this past year.
Well, who cares? I don't read Times. Do you read Times? With all due respect,
Time magazine.
do you read Time magazine?
I do not read Time
Okay,
magazine.
all right.
That is it's
Number 4.
Sorry.
Number 4, I got it right here.
Sorry,
the
Dave.
NBA play-in continues tonight with the Magic taking on the Sixers and the Warriors visiting the Clippers. Which of these 4 teams has the best shot to make it into the playoffs and get out of the first round?
interesting tidbit about the Clippers is they don't have their pick if they are a lottery team this year too. So I wonder, and you know who has that? OKC, by the way. But,
Of course they do.
Of those teams, I mean, the thing is, you don't really like the taste of any of these games tonight because everybody's pretty battered and pretty beat up. You know, the Clippers were sellers at the end of the day. They rebranded. The Magic are beat up. 76ers are beat up because Joel Embiid had his appendix removed. Warriors are beat up. So, I mean, that's just, there's a lot going on there that you don't really like the taste of these teams at full strength. But at the very end of it, you have one of them that has games that are, guaranteed playoff spots in that Magic 76er game. And Warrior Clipper, I know it's 10 o'clock on Prime, but I mean, those are good coaches going head to head. we'll see. I don't know if either of those teams can beat Portland because I think Portland's actually underrated. But nonetheless, the Western Conference is a little harder to swallow because those top two teams are the two best teams in the sport.
I said the Magic earlier, but none of them have a chance. I mean, I get what Colin's saying about the Pistons. They're banged up. Bickerstaff's a phony in the playoffs, but I don't think any of these teams are getting out. Forgive me for thinking I didn't even know. It's a good shot about the Clippers. I mean, God, you got two teams tonight at 10 o'clock who don't want to win. You got Steph Curry on a minutes restriction for the Warriors.
The Clippers want to keep their picks, so I think they want to win, but I don't think the players are thinking about that.
You know, I did, to answer a question, none of them. I'm already looking forward, I think, to the second round. That's where I'm at this point.
Mike will refuse to let the NBA have a good day.
It's not even. Colin,
it is that. You just said I'm looking forward to the second round.
I mean, the first. Listen, what did you tell me? Nuggets in Minnesota and a whole lot of nothing.
I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that at all.
Nuggets in Minnesota and a whole lot of nothing. We don't have Luka. We don't have Luka with the Lakers.
The Houston-LA series will be interesting. I agree that the 1-2 seed series in the Western Conference are not going to be very good, but those are going to be 10-30 starts anyway. You got the Nuggets and the T-Wolves, which is going to be great. And outside of that, I understand we're not too into the Atlanta Hawks, but any series with them and the Knicks can be interesting.
So hang on. I don't think it's crazy. I know I'm an NBA hater right now.
You are.
But at the same time, Kyle, you can't call me crazy for wanting the second
round.
Your
team's in the playoffs. What do you have brought? You haven't brought up once. You haven't brought up once.
It's Toronto.
Oh,
it's Toronto.
Come on.
Toronto ain't giving
it. Be a fan for a second.
When we get
into the game.
When we get the Knicks, listen, you'll hear from me.
You have no right to say that after you guys lost to Indiana last year.
You'll hear from me if we lose to Toronto. All right, but that's a series I expect to win about 5 or 6 games.
I haven't heard a word about the Cavs. Your team's in the playoffs. I haven't heard from them. Mike, be fair. Be a fan.
Colin,
be a fan.
Colin, it's the James Harden effect. You're the one who told me not to get excited. I'm trying not to get too excited here, partner.
I mean, come on.
Is that fine?
You're saying I'm looking forward to the second round. Your team's in the first round. What do you mean you're not looking forward to the second round?
If they can't get past...
What do you mean?
If they can't get past the Raptors, what are we doing here?
You don't care about the Cavs that much, do you?
Yes, I do. The hell I don't.
All right, well, prove it to me.
They're playing the Raptors. Should be a 5-game series, brother.
All right, come on. Be fair. What'd you think about the Pacers last year?
I mean, granted... That was the second. That was the second round. Get me to the second round.
It's still they won 5.
Like I said, get me to the second round. They can't get out of there. It's been the boogeyman.
Get into it. It's the NBA. NBA playoffs are good. I'm trying to convince you to get into it. It's going to be good. The playoffs are good every single year, mostly. It was great. The NBA postseason was excellent last year. Excellent. Quality of game was as good as it gets. Just asking you to get into it. You ran in every parade. Mike, there's no NFL. There's no college football for 7 months. Let's be fair.
There's great baseball on. And listen,
fine. We can't do early May baseball.
It's all right. But Carter in Atlanta, he was on to something last night's Brave and Marlins.
Early May. Let's do consequential.
Good game.
Last but not least, Colin, you alluded to it before the break. Sources say Live Golf could be shutting down as Saudi Arabia's public investment fund reassess priorities amid ongoing conflict in the Middle East. There was a recent board meeting in New York where they discussed the league's short-term future, including whether to stop operations for this week's event in Mexico City or finish out the season. And importantly, this isn't about money since LIV was fully funded through 2030. What does this mean for the future of LIV?
Yeah, this is interesting. Number one, you said that at the end, where it's not necessarily do with money. They don't care about the money. They care about the influence. And it's already funded through 2030. If they want to pull it, then there's no backup plan, right? There's no backup plan. It gets evaporated, gone, forget it, finito. And if it's because of political and the war and everything like that, then there's nothing these LIV guys will be able to do. They're going to be back on tour, and the PGA will make exceptions. They'll let them come back. But if it explodes, and the Saudi, at the end of the day, the Saudis that were trying to fund the league, they weren't too interested in making a profit. They just wanted to be involved in sports. And they wanted to feel like they had events. They wanted to host things. They wanted to almost try to be a destination for it, not necessarily dominate the cultural scene for ad revenue. They didn't care about that. But if it is going to be political in terms of the reasoning of why they're going to pull out or pull the funding, then it's just going to go away and it's never going to come back because I don't think people are going to want to jump back on board, especially with the conflict overseas.
Yeah, I agree with everything Colin said. And if anything, for me, I'm excited to see Bryson and John Rahm and these guys back in the right tour. This was a joke of a tour anyway. So, listen, I feel bad for Liv fans who watch week in and week out and are getting into the standings and everything. But let's be honest with ourselves. We're getting Bryson and John Rahm back on the FedEx Cup every single week. I think people are going to be happy about that.
Yeah, you got to pull. And the fact that they're pulling the money for that reason is maybe the fastest way to get this process moving, weirdly enough. If there's a silver lining to it, I'm not saying that was the reason, but if there's a fast way to do it, they're not going to run out of money. So the only way to get all these guys back at once is to dissolve the entire thing. And they're not going to dissolve the entire thing because of money, because they do not care about how much they spend. They have more money than God. They care about having a cultural imprint on sports, which they have not succeeded, but they get the deep pockets. If this is going to be a reason to get everybody back and under one roof, like Mike said, I agree. Get it done quickly.
Like I said, I feel bad for diehard Liv fans out there that follow the tour and love it. But other than that, I think majority of Americans that are listening to the program will be happy to see them on the FedEx Cup.
That was number 5?
Yep, and that was your 5 at 5 presented by our great friends at Flagler Credit Union.
Flagler Credit Union, go check them out today. 5 at 5, Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. We got a little Steve Politziner action coming up here shortly. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Ugh, water spots on the shower door again.
He's sprayed, he's scrubbed, he's squeegee.
What? Is that a word?
He's tried pretending not to see it.
Didn't work.
Now he wants answers.
I'm calling Culligan. They'll test my water for free and recommend a solution to fix hard water throughout the whole house.
Because some battles shouldn't be fought alone.
Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin, Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Damian Perez behind the glass today. We're streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida and on your radio dial ESPN 106.3. You know him maybe as the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. I might know him as the Orange Bowl committee member, or the founder of the Boca Bowl, or the in-house Knicks fan, or the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association board member, or a variety of other things. And it is Steve Politzino, the Good Karma Brands president, who is with us now.
So I've decided I'm going to purchase like a horn or a trumpet, and we're going to do this medieval style every time he joins the show.
And you do
announce all of his titles.
Steve, hello. How are you?
I mean, there's something called sound effects. I mean, gosh, don't make me even look into your guys' AI usage if you're still talking about.
Don't look at that. That's a low blow. Don't do that.
If you're talking about buying horns, but I appreciate it. Hello, guys. Good to be with you.
Steve, first off, let's get your thoughts on the weekend. Rory and the Masters, we were rooting for a back-to-back. Did you want somebody from the field? Let's talk about that really quick. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's weird. I love Rory. I love him from I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he's, a spokesperson and tries to, I think about fans. And obviously he's a local guy, so I've had some interactions with him too, and he's always been first class. But for some reason, it was like, all right, Rory got his. Let's see a little, like if Rory ended up winning, I've been fine with, but I wanted to see just it get a little tighter. To the end, just like on going in this 18, you didn't know who was going to win. I'm totally satisfied with Rory and total first class. But if it were Cam Young, I would have also been thrilled.
Yeah, I agree with you from the perspective.
I didn't need Scheffler.
You're rooting for Rory to kind of fall apart a little bit because you wanted to get closer. I agree with that. The last 6 holes took a tumble because everybody else around Rory didn't necessarily, make a few big shots to close the gap a little bit. Justin Rose also, fell apart. Scotty Scheffler couldn't get a birdie to save his life. Cam Young wasn't doing anything special. Russell Henley was missing every big shot he could. Nobody really closed the gap.
Fell apart. Yeah. Yep.
Steve, how about the front nine, though? I mean, that was one of the better front nines I've seen in recent years in Augusta.
Oh, just the way everyone was, coming out of the woodwork and Scotty getting into the mix and, a lot of names rising up the leaderboard. It definitely led to an exciting Sunday. I think 14 million was I think that was the Sunday number.
Yes.
Well, Steve, we love Rory.
With a peak of 20,
Steve,
too.
we love Rory. He's the face of golf, right?
He's not the face of golf.
Good question. Who today is the face of golf?
It's
Rory. It's Rory or Scotty. It's one of the two. It's probably Rory right now.
I disagree with that. I think it's Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty plays every week.
Probably Rory. But Rory but the face of golf extends. Golf's an international game, and because it factors into the Ryder Cup. And it's because it factors into LIV. Scotty's the guy that just shows up and plays, very no frills, very under the radar. In fact, the most interesting thing, and this is not to take anything away from Scotty's on-course success, but the most interesting thing in Scotty Scheffler's career is what?
The jail incident. The jail incident.
Well, because he doesn't rustle any feathers, but in terms of number one at the sport for 200 weeks, that's got to mean something.
No, he's Tim Duncan. He's boring, but successful. But he's very Tim Duncan to me. It almost undermines their success. but because he's not outspoken, because he just seems like a regular person who isn't looking to make waves, it almost works against him.
Yeah, I like the guy who plays every week, and he plays more consistently than anybody, and he's always in the mix at every single tournament he plays, which is why I could appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You like the guy that plays every week. You're watching the RBC this week, Colin.
Here's the thing. I mean, especially throughout the February and March tour, you're tuned in to at least most of the Sundays. I mean, you're from Genesis to Pebble Beach, all these places. You're on top of it. I mean, from the Florida tour going into California, all that. I sit here and say I would prefer the guy who doesn't take 3 weeks, playing Augusta.
I know, but this is not like load management where Rory's missing
it is, Steve.
with a fake toe injury.
You want the guy who plays? Sure, Tiger is Tiger. Tiger plays once every 16 months, and we see him, and it's a big deal. But if you want to be the top of your level of sport, you got to be available. I mean, why do we hold all the other standards of the other athletes where they're not playing every week? All of a sudden, it's not a problem when it's golf. I mean, come on.
No, I'm with you that it is maybe a little abnormal that the best player in the world also plays as often as he plays. Okay, I'll give you that. It's kind of throwback to when the best players played, when the Michael Jordans and LeBron earlier in his career played 82 games. I got your point.
Now, Steve, another thing we wanted to talk about, speaking of golf, we'll stay here. LIV is being floated around as something that might get their funding pulled because of not just it wouldn't be a funding problem, ad revenue. It would be because of conflicts. All of a sudden, this league might lose its foundation from beneath them if the Saudi-based funding just pulls out their money. In this situation, let's say LIV does fall apart. How do you think those things play out in terms of the players sort of all of a sudden free agents, the league sort of dissolves? Do you think that could happen in the near future here?
Well, first, I think we always knew it was more of a when than an if. And it sounds like maybe it is another one of the byproducts of what's going on in the world with oil. Basically, it's probably the impact of what's happening politically and economically as it relates to oil. So first off, who knows if we're not in this conundrum we're in, this constant mess of society that we're in right now, if we're having this conversation this week. But putting that aside, there's already been a path. Now, not that path back is being offered right now, but there was already a path back. It has been accepted. Brooks Koepka was accepted, and I would think they would give the players an alternative, of that to make their ways back. The interesting thing is, would the tour players be as liberally accepting of it? Because that was created, I believe, to create a pathway for Brooks Koepka initially. And then if like DeChambeau wanted to take it, kind of, hey, 2 or 3 you guys come on back, you're good for us. I don't know if it's kind of that point, like baseball's going to have to face also. If you're an average Joe on the PGA Tour, do you want to let 20, 30 guys right back in who might be taking your spot? Because it's going to be that much harder. It's not like they're going to increase the field by 20%. Those are spots that are now going to go to other people who left to get paid, and they're going to come back and get your spot. So, Tom Watson, if you followed, was the most vociferous I've heard, still railing the tour for allowing Koepka back and saying you didn't pay your penance. In my opinion, that'll be interesting to see how challenging. There will be a path back. How challenging will they make the path back? How cost prohibitive will they make it back? How penal will they make it back? That'll be interesting to see.
I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad maybe as you think, Uncle Steve. I mean, listen, I know like Rahm, DeChambeau, Koepka, like these are names. I don't think if it gets pulled because of the reasons that you mentioned, like, the conflict or oil, whatever it may be, I think the PGA just come on back. If that's the case, I think they welcome back with open arms. No,
they can't. No, they can't, because all these guys who didn't go didn't get checks, which is why they have to pay some form of penance. They can't just let them right back and with the same, because then there's no penalty. There's no benefit to not having them gone. And that's why, whether they're a union or a pseudo union, that is why they've taken that stance. Now, Koepka has set the standard in saying, okay, fine, I won't be able to participate in this. I have to write a $5 million check to that. I don't know. Dustin Johnson and Sergio Garcia are going to be like, I'm playing for nothing. I don't need this. So that's the rub right now. But the tour is going to say, well, we do want them back because, they're good for ratings. It's a great story. It kind of puts the icing on the cake to live. But I don't know if all the constituents are going to roll over that way. So that's why it's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out. I'm excited to see how it goes.
If you were on tour and you were a member of this union, essentially, that is part in these conversations when these live guys come back, would you be make them claw their way back, make them, inch their way back? Would you be on that lot as well?
Yeah, I mean, if I were a player, what I think the majority of the players supported was a process of coming back and, hey, you weren't here the last couple of years, so you're not going to get to share in what we have built the last few years, but stick around, and in a few years from now, we'll all be back in the same place. Yeah, I think what they did was pretty sound. I don't know how much more penal I'd make it, but I don't know that I'd make it any less.
That's the thing is, I agree with you from the perspective. Think about their mindset. We stayed true, and the only reason that the PGA guys were keeping them around was tradition. Don't go over there. It's against what you believe in. It's sacrilegious to golf, this, that, and the other. And these guys don't get nearly the checks that the live guys get. And all of a sudden, these live guys get life-changing money for 3-4 years, and they could come back and just keep on moving like it was a regular Tuesday. That would piss off a lot of golfers. That would piss off me too. So I don't know what that process looks like. It's laughable how catered Brooks Koepka's walk back was, his path back, as you said, was comparatively to what they'll do for everybody else. But you're going to need to have, sure, they could afford it in terms of you're going to penalize them in terms of money. Time they can't get back. So it's going to have to be a time-related punishment if you're going to do it properly and actually make
what would be
feel
fascinating? How about a fan vote component of the aspect? How much do you want this person back?
Oh, that'd be crazy. Too much power to the fan. They would never do that. I agree.
Yeah,
everyone would be
like
coming back, right?
A small component. No, people would be like, I don't want Patrick Reed. I don't like Patrick Reed. Nah, make Patrick Reed pay $10 million if he wants back. He's not beloved by fans. It would never happen, but it would be so interesting, to see a fan popularity component to this thing.
What? Don't go say 45 for John Rahm to come back 45. Do I hear 45? 50 for John Rahm to come back to the door? Do I hear 50? That's how you want it. You want to get me on the mic like I'm, selling cattle.
That's great. Maybe we do it on like a live stream. Sell it to one of the streamers.
55.
Yeah.
55 for Uncle Steve. Do I hear a 55 for Uncle Steve? 60 for Uncle Steve?
It's Steve Politziner with us now, the Good Karma Brands president. Steve, NBA postseason around the corner here as our in-house Knick fan. What's your perspective? Is it Thunder versus the world? Are there teams that could challenge them? How many teams could challenge them? What's your perspective as we get started here in the next week?
And obviously, I'm a huge Heat fan. I am devastated. Last night, and I was on a text with some of the other huge Heat fans as part of the ESPN West Palm team, JMP, Evan Cohen. We were literally beside ourselves in that game when the Heat were up by 3 with 11 seconds left and couldn't close out. I basically turned and said to my kids, "This is over. We're going to lose in overtime," because the tide had turned. And so many, they can do it 30 for 30 off of last night's Heat game. The Bam LaMelo, all of the things that happened in that game last night were just grueling, devastating, and a crushing Heat loss that they basically had in tow with Bam out.
You didn't care about that game. Stop it.
I cared to the point where I couldn't sleep afterwards. It was just frustrating and upsetting.
Were you not part of the Heat lot that wants them to get out of this postseason and maybe get a good player in the lottery, change things up a little bit?
I don't know how much different it is. I'm never one of those guys let me get 6 picks higher. I think it is so luck of the draw. No, I wanted to see basketball continue. I like watching the NBA, guys. So I know Riz hates it, but I would have liked to I'm a sports fan who likes to watch my teams. So I would have preferred to watch the Heat play. I was bummed.
I don't hate the NBA. That's not true.
All right, now you're being.
I don't hate the NBA.
Come on.
Colin, I am frustrated with what it's turned into.
You can't stand the NBA.
Please do not tell me I hate that league. I do not hate
You
the
tell
NBA.
us you hate that league.
I
We don't
do
have
not
to tell
hate
you
the league.
anything.
I'm frustrated with where it's at. Uncle Steve, last year, let me put it in perspective for you. If you lost in that godforsaken game instead of winning, you would have had Cooper Flag.
That's
That
not
would change
true.
your tune?
That's not true. That's
Change
not
your tune a bit?
Not true. It's not true.
No guarantee that would have happened.
That's not
the
true.
same
That's
way.
not the way to view it. That's not the way
Change
to
your
view it.
tune, Uncle Steve.
Yeah, and that's all going to change anyway. And teams need to be incented to win. I don't get being a fan not wanting to see your team compete. I understand when they're terrible right now, but who wouldn't have wanted another Heat game or two because they've made noise before when they've been in the play-ins. This was the game they had to win. The next game's easier. The Sixers beat up, injured. And this was the game to win. Devastating.
Another thing, first of all, it was a great game. It's the best NBA game I've seen all year.
Agreed. I mean, I haven't seen every NBA game, but it was an unbelievable
Well, I mean,
game.
consequential. It was back and forth. The officials, most importantly, did not dominate it. There wasn't 60 timeouts in the last 4 minutes that took 35 minutes to complete. And I know you got hurt with Bam out of the game there. We'll ask you about LaMelo in a second, but ultimately, in terms of a basketball game, back and forth affair, the Heat were up 6 with 1:14 to go. They blew it. The Hornets were up 5 with 28 seconds to go. They blew it. It was a very intense back and forth affair. I thought it was an awesome game.
Yeah. Yep, it was. And I think the NBA playoffs are going to be fun to go where you started. I mean, OKC just looks unstoppable in so many stretches. I know they had a little stubbed their toe a little bit, there in the beginning, but it feels like it's OKC. I think they got one more year before the coronation of Wemby. But it feels to me like that's where we're going.
It could have been this year, but with him injured, I tend to agree with you about Oklahoma City. It seems like Wembanyama is the kryptonite, possibly, in a big spot to that Oklahoma City team.
Yeah, they're like the team that now has the confidence. They're almost like Rory. OKC would be like Rory doubling up on the Masters, where you're almost like, is that even possible?
Yeah.
And now you're looking, you're like, well, yeah, why not? The East is unimpressive, and the West, it's not at its best. You know how deep the West's been, and then they all beat each other up along the way. So it almost seems like it's not as only is it OKC's to lose as the defending champ. It seems like it's OKC's to lose as like the clear cut. I don't want to say easy path, but not the hardest path I've seen.
Yeah, the top four, the West is not as deep, as you said. It's not as deep as it usually is. The East is a little bit more deep than it usually is, but you don't know how much you trust the teams at the top of the line here. And one thing I wanted to add really quickly, too, do you think the NBA should suspend LaMelo Ball for what he did to Bam Adebayo?
I think they should suspend the refs for missing it. For no one's. I don't believe that's like a reviewable play.
Well, that's right. Flagrants are reviewable. Yeah. You could turn around and do a flagrant every 5 seconds. You could do that whenever you want.
But someone has to identify that. I don't know where the miss was, but I heard Spoelstra describe it last night, and he said the ref said we missed even seeing it. So it's not that we missed the call. We missed even the opportunity.
Yeah, they don't have video review. They don't have Skybox. They don't have guys telling them that.
That's I'm guessing that will get bubbled up, especially because of the consequences, as you mentioned, and because it was Bam, and you hopefully there's nothing worse. And Spo said the same thing. It's not why we lost, but it certainly made it a lot tougher when you're missing arguably your best player.
So you think the NBA would be wrong to circle around and suspend him for the next game?
No, I don't, because I don't align with because the refs didn't see it. We can't look at it separately, calmly when we have a little bit of time. No, I think they could absolutely suspend him if the precedent has been set that is the level of a flagrant that would have warranted further action. Absolutely.
Steve, what's going on with Duffy's? What's going on there?
Guys, that moment when you're starving and nothing sounds good? That's when you call a power play at Duffy's Sports Grill. I'm talking the real deal comfort food, the juicy made-to-order burgers, stacked high, crispy chicken tenders that actually crunch those wings. I know you guys are big on. And if you're a sandwich person, the loaded sandwiches, the wraps, all of that. That's the power play menu right now at Duffy's. Phenomenal value, just $13.99. And you can do it for lunch, during the game, or dinner, whenever is the right time for you. Don't overcomplicate it. Just go out and give it a try. The Duffy's Sports Grill. Smart move at Duffy's. Our game is always on.
Steve, did you hear that Mike and I made a song?
I heard something like you guys went on an advertiser presentation.
Partner.
Sang or something. Oh, wow. Wow, you had a partner presentation. Good job.
Yep.
And what happened?
Steve, they put the bat signal in the sky. They said they needed Batman, and that was Russo and Rizzo making a song.
Wow. And how did it go?
I don't know.
I mean, it went well.
It went well.
It went well. It went well with the partner. It went well.
We did a rendition of "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel, and it was great. We made it Hard Rock Bet related.
Oh, very cool. Well, hopefully we'll all get a chance to see and hear and consume that.
So you haven't listened to it. That's what I'm getting at.
You haven't heard it. You haven't heard it.
Has it been sent to me? Where would I see it?
The West Palm Beach team.
Steve, you live down the street.
No, but I'll look for it. Sounds cool.
Look for it.
Good job, guys.
Thanks.
Well done. Going out and seeing the advertising partners.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
Steve, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thank you.
That's Steve Politiano, the Good Karma Brands president, Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, with us then. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Damian, President Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Kids Club Saturdays, the Frozen Iguanas, and so much more. To purchase tickets, membership packages, and find out more information on the Jupiter Hammerheads and Palm Beach Cardinals, visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation, 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. In office, West Palm Beach.
Whether you need batteries, tires, or services, we know you depend on your vehicle. You can depend on St. Lucie Battery and Tire. With the largest inventories, expert technicians, and the best price out the door every day guaranteed, you'll drive away with confidence. Life doesn't stop, and neither should your car. St. Lucie Battery and Tire is here for you. Our experts keep your vehicle ready with batteries, tires, and service you can trust. Fast, friendly, and always reliable.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We got Damian Perez behind the glass today. It's Mike Rizzo and Colin Russo. Listen up. If you're missing back to any of this, you want to listen back, you don't know where to find it, just go to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Just go to Russo and Rizzo. You can catch that. You can catch Theoretically Speaking, all of our local programming. Also on our social medias at ESPN West Palm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you're somebody like me and you got to understand, I love a good deal. I love inclusion. I love when things are, hold on, you get this, you get that too. If you're Xfinity, you can get some ESPN WWE action as well.
Listen up, all you Xfinity members, all right? For everyone with Xfinity, you now have the ESPN Unlimited plan available at no additional cost. So if you have Xfinity and you're already enjoying ESPN as part of your TV lineup with all the games, daily coverage, and expert analysis, well, now you are officially with the Unlimited because, as I've mentioned, it is available at no additional cost for the Xfinity members, giving you access to additional ESPN content on that ESPN app, including more must-see action like WWE, premium live events, on-demand programming, and originals to explore. Visit Xfinity.com/your subscriptions. That's Xfinity.com/your subscriptions. You can activate the ESPN Unlimited access once again. If you are an Xfinity member, the ESPN Unlimited plan is available at no additional cost. That's more from ESPN, all in one place. Remember to download the ESPN app, the #1 sports app in the country.
Now, I like what ESPN put out earlier today. Jeff Passan, a number of the ESPN writers were talking about, they were polling different MLB players about ABS and, 20 games into the season, how they felt about it, give or take. And most of the guys who respond, Adley Rutschman being one of them and also being a catcher, goes, it's part of a new aspect, still trying to figure it out. It's definitely made a difference. Nico Horner said it's felt clean. I don't think it's made the games longer. We haven't had that's would have been a huge turnaround in the game. Kevin Gausman, who's a guy who's been pitching forever, would say the fan interaction is great. The fans really enjoy it. I thought it'd be a quiet moment, but it's really into it. I didn't realize how tough it is to hear these fans. I think it's great in that regard. Paul Skeens, who doesn't say anything, says it's pretty cool. I don't think it's been super one-sided where the pitchers are getting a lot more than the hitters. It feels right so far. Do you agree through 20-some-odd games?
Yeah, it's great. And I think it's just buttering everyone up for the umps to be glorified babysitters. And I think the sooner baseball gets to that, the better. I just too many missed calls, too many missed strikes, missed balls.
Well, good news. You could challenge it.
I get that, but let's get the right call immediately. And we have the technology to do it. That's just where I'm at this point. I know, listen, and I'm a baseball loyalist. I love baseball. I love growing the game, getting more people to start watching the sport I love. But you are getting rid, if you do what I do, you are getting rid of some of the traditional, traditionalism that is baseball with an calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. But I go back to, granted I was 1 year old, but the horror stories from the 95 World Series and how big the strike zone were for those Atlanta Brave pitchers, okay? I mean, it's been a problem for a while. So I like the new rule, and I think it's buttering everyone up to eventually have the umpires, get the microphone in their ear and be told what to do.
You can read it on ESPN. I think the most interesting thing that came out about it was with the pitchers responding to it. The one thing they said is he goes, here's the thing, all the pitchers pretty much universally are like, I'll never challenge. I'll let the catchers handle that. I'll let those guys. I trust your catcher in that position. I'm not going to be the guy to do that because pitchers have a little bit more of an emotional outing comparatively to a catcher, which I actually thought was interesting because, guys like Paul Blackburn has been in the league for a while because I'll never challenge. They don't necessarily say don't challenge to us, but trust your catchers.
Sale too, Chris Sale.
The strategy behind it, I think, is the most intriguing part. It adds a new element to managing a game, changing a game, putting yourself in good positions. I think challenge systems have been something that has really blown up in all sports over the last 5 to 10 years. And, football's always had it to some degree, but basketball really started to adopt it, especially with foul calls. I really think that this has been an awesome success. And it's by far, you think the challenge flag in football is strategic. You're lucky if you have 2-3 challenge-worthy plays a game. Baseball, the actual strategy behind it, you feel it because there are multiple challenge-worthy events during a game.
And it's a feather in the cap for Manfred, another one. I think Manfred has been a tremendous commissioner outside of the Astros situation. No need to go into that. I think the Astros should have been ripped of everything and those guys banned from baseball. No idea how A.J. Hinch is managing. Regardless, outside of the Astros situation, I think Manfred has done great, and this is another feather in his cap. Now, he's going to have a big decision, Colin, coming up at the next collective bargaining agreement.
It's coming up next year, by the way. But we'll continue onward here. A little bit more play-in action tonight. The NBA postseason on the horizon. You got a little Panther action tonight as well as the NHL regular season comes to a close. The Panthers will not be participating in this year's iteration of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but they do have the Red Wings tonight at home. So stay tuned for that. Playoff time. We'll have to wait another year for the Stanley Cup to perhaps enter back into Sunrise, Florida. Appreciate Damian Press keeping us up over the airwaves. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. We'll see you next time. It's been a whole lot of fun. Make sure to watch it back on YouTube at ESPN South Florida if you missed any of it. We'll see you next time. It's Colin Russo here saying so long. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.